Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is your girl DanEBlu. Today I'm doing a little bit of a different type video today. I'm doing a story time pretty much, and because people have been asking me a bit about my past, you know, because in some videos I have alluded towards me being adopted and stuff like that, and being in an abusive relationship. So I felt like, okay, I got a nice little drive before I get home, so why not just give you guys, you know, some of that info. So if you are new, welcome. Make sure you hit me up with a nice big thumbs up if you like this story, as well as if you will subscribe and help me reach my 8,000 subscriber mark by the end of August. If you're not new, thanks for coming back and rocking with me again. So from the title you can tell this is going to be just that, about me being a teenage mom, how to get to that. I'm not going to talk about my adoption story right now. That's going to be a totally different video. So I apologize. I know I've promised that video to some people, but I'm not going to talk about that in this video. I'm just going to talk about my situation with being a teen mom and my relationship surrounding that. So I apologize again in advance, and I will have a video following up with that. Now, as I go through this story, I do want you to know there are some things that I will omit, because I know people want to think that everyone gets over everything, and you don't. When you know, experience some trauma, sometimes it still is a sore spot for you, but you're working your way through it. You know what I'm saying? And I still am human. I still bleed like everybody else. And just because I don't show my emotions all the time does not mean I don't hurt. So if you feel like there's some pieces missing, more than likely it is because I'm not ready to speak about that in depth, because it might take me to a place that I don't want to go back to this right now. So, me being a teen mom, how did that happen? I grew up in a very religious family. I was adopted by Muslims, a Muslim family. They practice Islam, and I felt it. I felt very constricted. I felt like all I did was cook, clean, worship, you know, and that's what I felt like my life was. And school, I felt like school was an afterthought in the house. Like, my job, it was like, your job as a young woman was to know how to cook, clean, and we went to our religious services. And school was secondary, which was cool, whatever. You know, it's nothing you can do as a kid. You got to go along with whatever is already there. I get to high school now, mind you. I'm 12 years old. I am 12. 12. I get to high school. Everybody bigger than me. Everybody older than me. Everybody look grown. Well, they look older than I did, because I look 12. And I just, you know, was shy and quiet, and I wanted to just make new friends and stuff, and I did. I met new friends. One girl named Joy, she became my best friend. She was skinny, bow-legged, just janky all the way around, but I love that little girl because she allowed me to be who I was and brought out the me that I had been hiding because I had been so restricted at home. So one day I had ditched school with Joy. We went over to her boyfriend's house. He was a stone. He was a BPSN, yeah, Black Peace Stone. And he lived over there by Stag Field in Chicago. And if you don't know, I am from Chicago, Illinois, born and raised. Wow. I love 9-5, Harlan, shout out, 10 Trey. Yes, love my city, love my home. Anywho, back to what I was talking about. So yeah, he lived over there by Stag Stadium. By, what street was that? It was like something in Racine, I think. I don't remember. And so he was over there playing games with her. He was mad that she didn't come and see him. So he pulled a shotgun on her. And I'm like, dang. Now, y'all, what is so messed up in my head, when he pulls this gun on her, why did I think, am I going to get my shoes from her? Because she was wearing my J's. That was my first pair of J's I had bought myself. Because Joy and I had came up. I ain't gonna tell y'all about that story. But we came up, so we went on 63rd and Halsted, bought us some J's. And she bought some felines, I bought some J's. So I let her wear my J's, right? And then I had on the felines. And the first thing that popped in my head was, damn, am I gonna get these J's? Y'all, don't judge me. I'm like 13 years old, not even understanding what's really, really going on right now. Like, he's pointing a straight up sawed-off shotgun at her because she didn't come see him. So he told me, he was like, D, I'm gonna need you to leave because we need to work through some stuff real quick. And I was like, but can I get my shoes though? He was like, dude, you gonna get your shoes later. I'm gonna need you to go. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll go. In the back of my head, I'm still mad about the shoes. Anywho, so I'm still over here, just over there. I don't know why. I'm all sad, moping to the bus stop. Then next thing I know, I get picked up by the police. And they was like, oh, you ain't supposed to be out here. You supposed to be in school. So we're going to have to take you in. I'm like, take me in to where? You're going to have to go to the station because you shouldn't be out here like this. You're supposed to be in school. I'm like, dang, in my head, because I know if I got caught, I was going to get my butt whooped. Like, whoop, whoop, whoop. Whooped several times. To think fast, I was like, but officer, I'm 16. I don't have to be in school. And he was like, show me your ID. And I was like, I don't have an ID. I wasn't going to go to school today. He was like, okay, then when was you born? And I hurried up and gave him a date. I don't even know where that date popped in, but it made me 16. So he was like, well, dang, she wouldn't really know that date that quick in his head. So I was like, yes, Lord, yes. So he let me go. And he dropped me up because they was taking me to the station, but he dropped me off on like 70th and it was I don't even remember, maybe 70th and State, yeah. So I get off on 70th and State and I'm just walking. I don't even know where the hell I'm at. I don't know how I'm gonna get home. And next thing I know, this dude is walking up the street and he was like, hey, what's up? I'm like, nothing, because he looked a mess, but he was fitted though. And so when you a kid and you ain't used to money, when you see somebody with money, it kind of, you're like, wow, okay, he looks nice. So we was just talking, walking down the street, and I was just telling him, yeah, I got picked up by the police, whoa, whoa, whoa. And he was like, oh, well, I'm finna go down to the set. You want to get something to eat? And I was like, cool. And we walked down to 70th and Eggleston, and there was this place called Tammy's. So we go into Tammy's, we get something to eat, got a 6-piece, yes, with some mild sauce, fries, bomb. So, oh man, the fireman fleet got gas for $2.54. Why did nobody tell me? Now I gotta get off and go there. Wow. But anywho, so yeah, we finished eating or whatever, and then some dude walked up to him and was like, hey, can I get a sale this time? And he was like, a sale? No. So then the guy leaves and I was like, what are you talking about? Me being oblivious again. I grew up in a strict Muslim home. I didn't know nothing about nothing. And next thing I know, he was like, what do you mean? And he started laughing at me because he really think I'm playing, and I really had no idea what he was talking about. So he was like, man, that's a fiend. He always be coming up here trying to get me to give him deals on a bag. And I was like, a bag of what? He was like, are you for real right now? And I was like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, dude, you green AF. And I was like, I didn't know what green meant either. So he just busts out. He like, dude, look, I sell stuff. I sell drugs. I sell weed and I sell crack. Like, that's what I do. So that's what he was over here for. That's what he was trying to get. I'm over here all dumbfounded. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I'd never been around drugs. I know nothing about no drugs. Next thing I know, fast forward, he introduces me to some of his friends. We all kicking it. And one of their friends was like, man, she look nice. Who is she? So he starts talking to me or whatever. And, well, I'll tell you, when you're young, you think you know everything, but you really don't know nothing. folks be running game on you. But anywho, so I come to find out this dude, oh Lord, this dude I'm talking to now, he's a whole 16. Now I done fast forwarded. I'm 15 right now, and he's a whole 25. I didn't know that. So, as I'm getting to know this dude, you know, he's courting me or whatever, and we're talking, whatever. And not one time did he even tell me, okay, hold on, I gotta get some gas, hold on. Okay, y'all, so I got my gas, I'm back. You know, I had to get some gas, because, yeah, I had to fill my baby up. But anywho, let's get back on the road. So basically, this guy lied to me from jump. I didn't know this dude's real name. I didn't know his age. He didn't tell me anything that a person needs to know who is trying to talk to you. So fast forward, I end up leaving home. I ran away from home again. I ended up being with him, and I moved in with him. He was living with a woman, a crack addict, who had 2 children. One of her children had seizures, and then the other child was just a baby. She was like not even a year old yet. And he was renting a room from her, and that was their deal. He paid her some money, and then he gave her some drugs, and that's how he, you know, got passed. So I came in, lived with him. He seemed perfect at first. He was cordial, he was nice, he courted me, he was gentle with me and everything. He paid for everything, he took care of, like, I really thought this was, you know, how it was supposed to be. And then next thing I know, I want to say 5-6 months down the line, I noticed like a change in him. And he's just like, the littlest thing, he snaps. I mean, I could have just been like, hey, did you get that from the store? And he just snapped. Like, y'all think I'm playing. I am dead ass serious right now. And I just didn't get it. So then one day we were talking, and he just ends up going off on me, and he slapped me. And I was like, damn, what did I do? Like, it wasn't even anything that was worthy of a slap. And that slap turned into a punch, which turned into, one night he ended up bruising my ribs so bad I had to go to the hospital. And he didn't even want to let me go to the hospital because he thought that I was going to tell on him. And he threatened me, and he was like, if you say anything, you know, I'm going to F you up or whatever. And I always had that in the back of my head, so I didn't say anything. You know, I just told the doctors that it happened during a fight. I was in a fight, and that's what happened. And he didn't even stay at the hospital with me. Actually, he didn't even go to the hospital with me. He just let me leave. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I could not breathe. I have never in my life had sore ribs before that. I could not breathe. It hurt just to breathe in, breathe out. I don't want to ever feel that again, and I refuse to feel that again. And it just went downhill from there. So move forward maybe 3 more months. I find out I'm pregnant, and I'm thinking everything is okay. You know, we're gonna be a family, and he loves me, and you know, he's not gonna beat me. It didn't change anything. He beat me while I was pregnant. He beat me after I had the baby. It was just ridiculous. I went through a lot with him. He would want me to do stuff with his friends, and I refused, so I got beat for that. This one time he had a friend come over and he wanted me to do something with his friend, and I told him, no, I don't think that's appropriate. Like, I didn't understand why he was trying to pimp me out. He's supposed to be my man. I'm pregnant with your child. Why would you do this to me? And as he got mad that I wouldn't do it, he tried to hit me in my face with a bat, and I put my hand up, and that's what happened to this middle finger. That's why it's so big. Because if you look at this one, that one is straight up. This one has a curve and it's buff because he busted my finger open, and he wouldn't let me go to the doctor for that because he didn't want to get in trouble again. I didn't know. I didn't grow up in a house with a male. I grew up in a house with my mom, and I grew up with a lot of other women, you know, my sisters, and I grew up with my brothers. So I didn't get to see a male-female relationship and how they're supposed to interact. And because this was my only instance of seeing that, I just assumed this is how it was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So you're supposed to be in a relationship. This is how someone shows they love you. They beat on you. They talk down to you. They want to force you to do stuff you don't want to do. I thought that's just what it was. And by me not knowing, you know, being a young kid, 15, having my first child at 16, then having a second child by this guy at 17, it was crazy. And I don't even know how it got to that point that I thought it was okay for him to put his hands on me, because I think I didn't know any better. And that's one thing I wish I would have had, was a dad in the house, so I would have been able to see that interaction, to know what's supposed to happen between a man and a woman, and to know that, you know, if a man loves you, he's not gonna try to pimp you out and you know, just talk down to you and call you stupid and physically and mentally and emotionally abuse you, because that's not what someone does that loves you. And I didn't know this. I sent him to the store one day to get our baby a toy. He came back he went to a Toys R Us, and he gave me the receipt for whatever reason. And I happened to look on the back of the receipt, and it said, Toya, call me, and it had a heart all around it. And I was like, what is this? He slapped me for asking him what it was. And I'm like, why am I getting beat on just for asking basic questions? Like, I seriously did not know what was going on, and I just thought that's how it was, but I didn't understand that's not how it had to be. He was 10 years older than me. I never knew this until I got away from him. I didn't even know his real name until the police caught him because he had a warrant. That's how I found out what his real name was. And I'm just here feeling so stupid. I mean, the stuff he used to do to me, I felt like I wasn't shit. I wasn't worthy. Nobody wanted me. Nobody cared about me. It was better off that I wasn't here. I was so depressed. It got to a point that I did try to commit suicide. And I thank God. I thank Allah. Because I wouldn't be here today to tell other people my story. And he saw fit that it wasn't time for me to go, and he didn't let me go. And all he did was made me stronger. I'm stronger than what I was. And that was well over 20 years ago. But it still hurts that I allowed somebody to let me feel like I was less than and didn't deserve to be loved and treated with respect and valued. I mean, it was so rough being a teen mom, because basically I had to drop out of high school. You know what I'm saying? I had to do what I had to do to take care of my kids. And it was so crazy because people that were close to me were telling me I would be nothing. They were telling me, oh, you've ruined your life. No man's gonna want you. And then, when I got pregnant the second time, it was a wrap. What are you doing? You really want to be alone forever. I mean, just having to pay for childcare. And y'all, when I paid for childcare, I was crying because I thought I was paying a lot. I'm up here paying $150 for 2 kids. 2 kids a week. You know, people, dude, that was so much money to me back then. And now I look back and I'm like, man, the cost of living has increased because the prices they charging for childcare now, I die. Like, y'all, I don't know what we gonna do because I sure can't work and I sure can't take y'all to daycare. But it was rough. I dropped out of school. I worked 2 jobs. I paid for childcare. It was like I was a single parent. Dude was never there. And then to come to find out, he was on drugs. And I never knew this until later. He told me way later, after I had broken up with him and everything, and he was trying to get me back. And I was like, boy, bye. You think because you told me you was doing drugs, that's gonna make me want to be back with you? No. You did everything possible to demean me. I had no support. I just did not understand what I did wrong to deserve the way he treated me. And it was so funny because years later, my son, my oldest son, because I have a baby boy with my husband, he went and saw him and he said, now this dude ain't seen his son in I don't even know how long. I couldn't tell you at that point. He said, he don't even look like me. Left out, never came back. My son was visiting his grandma and his aunties and cousins in Milwaukee at that point. And he said, that's what dude did. Said he looked like me, he didn't see him again. Do you know how bad that hurt? People don't realize how much weight words have. And those words can cut you deeper than a knife. That wound don't heal. And I sit here and I think about all the stuff I did, because y'all, I'm leaving out a whole lot because I'm not ready to divulge a lot of that stuff. And I made some bad choices. I was not a perfect mom. I was a kid trying to figure this out. And I thank God, I thank Allah again for sending me my husband, because he knew we needed each other. And I'm in a totally different place. Now, don't get me wrong. I still have, feelings towards what happened. And I'm still hurt by some of that stuff. I've gotten over most of it, but some things every now and then, when certain times happen, you kind of get kind of emotional. And I still get to that point. And it's just like I don't know how to just let those things go. And when it's time for them to be let go, I'm sure they will be released. But I always think back and I try to remember what made me leave him. And I remember it plain as day. And I was like, this is the best thing to do. My oldest boy, we were potty training. Well, I was potty training him. And he made a mistake. He peed in the bed. Now, mind you, at this point, my oldest boy is only about 10, 11 months. He peed in the bed. Do you know this dude punched him? Punched him. I jumped on his back. We fighting. Next thing I know, he's choking me. And that's where I got these marks from on my neck. He choked me. His mom got him off of me. And at that point, when I was blacking out, I made the decision that I gotta go. I gotta go. So that night, I waited till he went to sleep. I packed a bag of stuff for my kids, because I had my 2 kids at that time. Packed them some food. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew I wasn't gonna take that ever again. That was the last straw, putting his hands on my kids. And I struggled with those babies. I struggled. I struggled when I was pregnant with them. I struggled after I had them. And I said, I'm not struggling no more. At least not with a dude that's going to do what he was doing to me. So at the end of the day, I'm telling you all this to tell you that you are valued. Don't let anybody take your joy away from you. Don't let anybody dictate what your possibilities, what your capabilities can be in your life. Because guess what? You're a child of God. He let you come here to be great. Own that greatness. With that said, I'm going to stop there because I feel myself getting a bit emotional. Because a lot of stuff, I cut out a whole lot. Because it don't need to be said at this point. I want to thank you for watching. If you are also a domestic abuse survivor, if you are also a teenage mother, if you've been a teenage mother, fight the good fight, sisters. I'll see you all later. Thanks for sharing a piece of my life.